All right, everybody. So sorry about that. I goofed. It was my fault. But we are back with West Coast Weekend, the marathon showcasing speedrunning talent of the West Coast. And I am your West Coast host, SmoothOperative. We have been having a great marathon so far today, aside from a few little difficulties. But I say we make it even nicer with SuperSonic71087 and a speedrun of Animaniacs. Hey, Supersonic. Joining you is Kelsey. Hey, Kelsey. How are you both doing?
Hello.
Hi, doing pretty good.
Awesome. Tell us about the run. What do we have in store?
Okay, so Animaniacs is basically a platformer on the Sega Genesis. There is also a Super Nintendo version that was featured at SGDQ a couple years ago, but this game is completely different. So we will be seeing a lot of platforming, a lot of character changing. So it is pretty much like Sonic Heroes in a way, before Sonic Heroes became a thing. So, but yeah, without further ado, we'll pretty much see like what goes on in the run, and then we'll have Kelsey explain a lot of it as we go along.
Yeah, sure. Are there a lot of RNG elements, or it's mostly like skill and muscle memory?
A lot of it, I would say like 80% of it is skill, and then there's like some RNG elements with the boss fights. So
okay, cool. Well, yeah, whenever
we'll
you're
try
ready to get it
we'll
rolling.
get that down. All right, so let me get back to the title screen here, and we'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we start here with our intro stage. It kind of does an overview of what our 3 characters do. We have Yakko, who actually has 2 abilities. He can push and pull blocks, and he has a paddle ball to stun enemies. Next up, we have Wacko. He actually has a mallet that ignites items. Lastly here, we have Dot. Now, she uses her charm to get us through many obstacles in this game. Now, as you can see here, we have 4 levels to choose from. You can choose any of them. Just recently, we've actually switched to doing Scene 3 first. Now, the reason we do Scene 3 first is because it has the most RNG. Now, whenever possible, it's very nice to get the heavy RNG out of the way in a speedrun. So coming up here yet again, you will see Ralph. You'll be seeing a lot of him throughout the run. Now, all the levels in this game are themed after popular movie genres. Clearly, this is our Western theme.
Yeah, so something like Clint Eastwood or John Wayne, or I don't really know Western movies that well, but those are like the 2 actors that pretty much come to mind when
well,
it
let's
comes
not
to like
forget
Western
Back
movies.
to the Future 3. Come on, that one sticks out to me. But
okay, yeah, we can say that too.
there it is. All right. So we do have these barrels rolling at us. They do roll out in a pattern of 4. So we're just going to avoid those. Once at the top, we're going to go along these platforms to avoid any further damage. Now say hello to Buttons and Mindy. Now don't be alarmed. We'll see them later. They are not harmed. I promise. All right, so next up here, you will see Supersonic take an intentional damage boost in this fire. You can move the blocks. It does slow down some time. We don't want to take way too much damage, so you'll see we're actually going to move this block here to avoid a little more. These are hidden blocks up here. We can't see them. They are random patterned. And as you can see, sometimes that does happen, but we'll get it on the next go. We're going to safely move as they appear in and out of the scene.
Shoutouts to Mega Man.
Shoutouts to Mega Man indeed. Now, moving right along, these platforms do move, or they do disappear as you step on them. So this next part actually shows how critical it is to know which character to use when. So you'll see Supersonic switch to Yakko, then Dot, and then suddenly back to Wacko. Now we really want to make sure that we don't miss this jump. GG Supersonic. So if you do miss that jump, you have to go down, up, and around until you do eventually make it through. So starting here is actually the first half of the boss fight of this scene. So this is where you'll see the RNG the most heavy. So you'll see up here there is this pie launcher. Now we haven't figured out a perfect strat to manipulate it, but we have seen that if you try and keep it to the left side of the Warner siblings, it seems to be a little easier to control. We do want to do 5 hits on Ralph.
Oh gosh, Ralph is not being kind right now. The fact that he's moving so fast for a big character on a small train like that is very amazing to me. Come on, I didn't even get a single hit yet.
Well, luckily we only need 5. There are some of the boss fights that you do actually need 7 hits throughout this game, and this is still just level 1, so we have lots of Ralph still yet to come.
Yeah, we only got 1 so far, and I'm really close to dying too, so.
That is okay. This is the easy percent speed run. It starts with 5 lives. Now you can do normal and hard. The main difference in those is the amount of lives that the game starts with.
Come on, 1 more.
And this is why we start. This is why we start with level 3, because like I was saying, the RNG, it can be very frustrating being more than halfway done with a run and having to do something like this.
Yeah, that pie launcher was not kind whatsoever.
We made it through, we're okay. Now we have yet another. We can redeem ourselves right here. We get to fight Ralph yet again at the front of the train. Again, there is more RNG, so get your supersonic buses out if you have them. We're going to be hitting the coal into this randomly opening and closing lid. Now we cannot control when it opens or closes. When the coal does fall back down, it can cause damage to the Warner Brothers ancestor, so we can jump up to avoid damage, but we also want to make sure we avoid Ralph, who often jumps at us as well.
Yeah, this is pretty much a fixed fight as well, so I just have to like survive this section. So it's not really much of a fight unless Ralph gets on the train. We can actually damage him with a mallet, but it's not gonna really do anything. Okay, there we go. He jumped, so now we just gotta keep the train on the right. And that should be okay. We see the train is stuck on the right like that, and then Ralph is just charging. So we're pretty much done with this stage here.
Yeah, when you see him running towards us, you know we are in the clear.
There we go.
There we are, collecting our first artifact of 4 that we will be collecting in these 4 scenes.
Okay, since we got that out of the way, we're gonna go into the normal stage order. So we'll go back to scene 1 and then scene 2 and 4. Bungle in the jungle, let's go.
All right, so we're heading into stage 1, scene 1, level 1. All right, so this is our action adventure stage. We also like to refer to this one as our auto scroller level. You will see coming up here, we have a couple different auto scrollers. So we're gonna use Wacko here to ignite this and head over to this robot. But first we're going to use our charm. Hello, nurse. Okay, moving right along. So you'll see that there's a button on top of this robot. Make sure you have Wacko, because you can hit that button to avoid hitting these studio lights. That'll knock us down. You take massive damage on those spikes down there.
Yeah, it deals like 2 damage on those spikes, or pretty much any kind of stage hazard. Like you'll get dealt a lot more damage than getting hit by a regular enemy.
So you see that crocodile. We do not want that crocodile to follow us along with the boat and the studio lights. That causes the game to lag. It is just way too many sprites on the screen for this game. Coming up, you see this blueberry. That is one of many health items in the game. They are all food-related items. You'll see some ice creams and things scattered about the scene. Next up, we see Supersonic jump on this first log, or just jump down altogether. That works too, because all we want to do is get down there as fast as possible and hit that button. What that button does is open a door up on the top right of the screen. Now you will see we're going to take an intentional damage yet again on the bottom here. Climb up these logs and hopefully time it perfectly so we can get through that door. There we go, saving a lot of time. And yet again, here we are on another auto scroller. This one is a mine car. We're going to do 2 random hits here on these doors to switch them in order to not fall to our death.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be standing on this side and not do anything for a little bit.
Yeah, there's no way to speed up this portion of the run. You will see that Supersonic is going to avoid collecting any items. Collecting more items in this game adds to your score. In a speedrun setting, we do not want that. At the end of each stage, it actually tallies up our score, and the higher the score, the more time loss. Another thing to note is there is no health meter in this game. We do have an indicator up on the top left. If you look at the characters, based on the way their face looks is how our health is. You can see right now, if you look at Wacko, he's not thrilled. So that means our health is not ideal. So when it's really, really low, you will see the characters flashing. So you can just see we grabbed an ice cream there. His mood improved just a little bit, as anybody's would with ice cream, so it completely makes sense.
Yeah, and they all share the same health bar as well, so.
Here we have some hidden blocks with more health, so there we go. We've got Yakko kind of winking at us. That's a good sign.
All right, we're about to approach the boss fight here.
I'm gonna hit the switch and head to our boss fight. Now this one does require 7 hits. Hopefully we can get Ralph in a stun lock 7 times and then collect our last artifact. Unfortunately, again, sometimes he does not cooperate. You'll see Pinky in the Brain also running along the bottom. And if we take a little time, Ralph will join us down here too. Use your paddle ball with Yakko to stun him, if that does happen. Collecting
yeah,
our
thankfully we
artifacts.
didn't have to do that. So.
Yeah, there we go. Moving right along. We're gonna go in order now again. So we will go from 1 now to level 2.
Yep. Just waiting for the score to count down. It'll show us a password, which will pretty much stay even when you reset the game. So in case anything drastic happens, we can go to the password screen and go back to the level where we left off.
All right, so this level here, this one does have, to me, it has a lot of items yet again. So we're gonna try and avoid those.
We got the God Pigeon. Actually, I'm gonna stay as Dot here because she has a smaller hitbox compared to the other 2 characters. She'll be pretty useful in this stage.
Yeah, so she is shorter, again, avoiding all of those stars. So stars don't technically add to your score at the end. What adds to your score is actually 100 stars, which gives you a 1-up. The more lives you have, the higher your score, the worse your speedrun time is. So you can see here we took the top route to avoid getting all of those sparkly fancy items. Gonna do a small hesitation here, safely along the top here, walking. Yet again, more block moving, and what do you know? Guess who? It's Ralph. So on this section here, we are just going to use our paddle and stun him. Now, if you were playing this game casually, you can climb on those ships and hit those chests there. They unveil 1-ups, health items, stars, all things that you would want in order to complete the game. But again, since we are trying to complete the game as fast as possible, we are just going to simply stand here with Yakko. You'll see the screen go a different color, and that's when you know we're good to go. So this part here is super tricky. If you hit that block here with Wacko, you completely skip the bottom portion of that whole scene. Now here is one of our many climbs in this game. Again, of course we include Ralph. We're just gonna use our paddle yet again to stun him, get him out of the way, make it to the top.
Okay, so you may notice sometimes I will use the paddle ball just randomly. That's mainly because I'm doing a button buffer to set up for Yakko to either pull a block that's pretty much near him. You don't necessarily have to do that when you're pushing a block, but when you're pulling, there, I just did it right now. And then grab this guy and then just pull him towards this switch here. Now we're gonna switch over to Dot and then wait for this door to open.
Yeah, we're gonna use Dot because like SuperSonic had mentioned, she has the smallest hitbox. And although that door opens and closes very slowly, if you are a little bit close to when it's closing, you can actually soft lock there if you use one of the larger characters such as Yakko.
Yeah, that did happen before in a marathon run. So
This is our Sonic 2 area. Shoutouts to Chemical Plant. That is extremely familiar looking if you've played that game.
Alright. This stage went pretty smoothly actually. Normally this would be like a big run killer if you're doing like PB attempts, but we got through it just fine.
Yes, we did. Now, coming up here, you may recognize this robot again. The difference here this time is we're not going to hit that button on the top to avoid studio lights. You can use it actually to collect items if you were to be playing this game as a beginner or maybe a little bit more casually. We might be seeing some health grabs up here, but really we're just going to stand here until we reach the end, which should be our next boss fight.
All right, this one's pretty similar to Donkey Kong Jr. This is stage 3 of that game. We're just pretty much climbing up.
This, to me, is one of the hardest boss fights. You can see these platforms disappear as you step on them. We also have Ralph after us, sparks, toxic gases, and studio lights being completely thrown at us at random. We are going to do the climb and hopefully get to the top, do one hit on Ralph, collect our next artifact.
Watch out for these studio lights. Oh, I got hit by one, but that's okay. Oh boy. No, we're good. We're good. That was a bit sketchy, but we got it.
We got it. Got him.
All right, so that's 3 of them down. Got one more to go.
One more
technically
artifact.
2, but...
All right, so this is going to be our horror theme, our scary scene 4.
All right, now we're gonna see the Grim Reaper here, but we're not gonna worry about him. We're just gonna damage boost right through him.
If you want, you can use Dot, flirt with him just a little bit, and he lets us through with no damage, or you can just run through, no problem, since the level starts us out at full health. Coming up here, you will see a cute little hay bale in theme of fall, but do not hit that hay bale, because if you do, it unveils a jack-in-the-box. That jack-in-the-box will send you back to the beginning of the level. So everybody, if you have your blesses, get them out now, because coming up when we go in this door, there is going to be even more RNG. This time it is book RNG.
Are we gonna get good books? Let's see if we got, let's see. That's not a good book, but, that's not a good book either. We're still alive though.
There's been much worse. That was just fine.
Yeah, because the knockback is pretty bad when you're in the air. So if you end up getting hit while you're jumping, it'll send you straight down. So, and there were those pits that could have killed me right there, but we're still good. We still have like 1 hit remaining. Well, technically 2, because sometimes the portrait will flash like on your top left. But as long as we stay alive here, we should be fine.
Coming up,
I don't think there are any health pickups.
We actually have Pinky in the Brain coming up as our mini boss rather than Ralph. So they're using a French horn to move these dishes. Those dishes completely do damage to us, but luckily a French horn can only take so much dishware. So we just have to make it through here, hopping it all in order to grab the block that they are hiding from us in order to get over that shelf.
Okay, now we got the puzzle element of this stage. But for the first part, we're just gonna drop all these blocks right away just to open the left door. And then we gotta do the blocks in the correct order to open the right door.
Yeah, I can see that'd be super confusing if this was your first playthrough. Putting them in the right order first might be like, what? But luckily when you go back, the blocks are reset, so we can push them back in.
Yeah, so we put them together with their correct shapes. So yeah, we learned shapes today. Circle, triangle, and a square. All right, now we're gonna head into the sewer area.
Yes, the sewer area is dangerous. We take a lot of damage, actually a death if we fall in. I don't know if it is toxic or the Warner siblings can't swim. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, so that drain was going and I avoided the hit there, but that's fine.
Okay. The log will come back. We will safely get across. Makes me assume that's not water then, since the waterfall damages us. But luckily we will go down. Don't grab that one up there, because we will go back and get it, drain the water, then we will be going back up and around.
Okay.
They try to tease you with
probably
that
could
one
have
up.
gone through the door too, but we didn't necessarily have to do it that way. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that to go down. There we go.
The next boss fight in this level is probably going to be the easiest of all of the levels. We do have Dracula. We saw him earlier. This time we're not going to use Dot to say what's up or anything. We're actually just going to use Wacko. Now the boss will spawn on the opposite side of us every time, so hopefully we'll get him in, again, somewhat of a stun lock. 7 drops and he is done, and we will collect our artifact.
Oops. I almost miscounted there, but we're fine. All right, so that's all 4 stages. So that's going to unlock the quote-unquote Wily stage of the game. And the reason I say that is because it's the hardest stage in this game as well.
Yes, we move right along. 1 through 4 was not the entire game. Once we collect everything in the Warner Studio, all of the movie-themed artifacts, we get to go to the award show. It's the Oscars.
Yep, I think in the cartoon they call it Edgar's, but
I believe so. But I think I've seen both. So this is by no means a celebration. It gets a little difficult. Difficult might be an understatement. This is definitely one of the hardest areas of the entire game. So this is kind of a combination of everything that we have seen. Starting out here with this elevator, we're going to take the first 2 damages on purpose. Then we're going to take a brief break here in the middle. I don't know what else to say. I mean, sour, please.
listen for audio cue.
Absolutely. This music is going to give Supersonic an audio cue. So when he hits that button with Wacko, we will go up, moving that barricade, and they will safely get through.
Yeah, that clearly looked like I could have gotten hit there, but the actual hitbox is on the very top of it, which is like a very thin line. So I pretty much timed that elevator to where I can move up there safely.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we have more random puzzle block moving. What would this game be? What would a level be without that in this game?
All right, now one of the harder platforming sections.
Yes, so platforming is difficult. Objects falling at you can be difficult. This level has moving platforms with things flying at us that we cannot see. So again, one of those rough RNG areas that we really just hope for the best. You really can't see, so looks like Supersonic made it through really well though.
Yeah, I got pretty good patterns there, so. I had like Flavio and Marita dancing in the apartments, and then Slappy is just chilling there, minding her own business.
So we'll see some dynamite down here. Why wouldn't we ignite it? Igniting it does unveil a staircase for us.
Now this section is a doozy.
So here you
We'll
see,
grab this health for safety.
on the left here, we have some fire coming at us. Now we want to get a head start here as soon as possible because we do have some blocks to move, and we've seen that moving blocks is a pretty slow process. But if we get a good head start here at the beginning, we are usually completely safe, good to go, damageless.
Oh, that was a good hit. Now we got the helicopter section. These shards of glass deal 2 damage if it hits us, so kind of got to maneuver around, make sure that doesn't hit us there.
Yeah, the last pane of glass is usually the scariest because we do have to hop up there and hit that button.
There we go, we got it. Now we got the town on fire. Those fireballs are pure RNG. Just gotta watch out not to get hit by those. There will be one instance where I do hit this fire hydrant. Oh dear. We're fine.
Yeah,
But this fire hydrant does create a lot of lag.
Yeah, we use the fire hydrant and Wacko's mallet to do so because we have to move that block in front of the building, so we have to spend a little more time in front of that one. The rest of them we tend to just go by as fast as possible.
Yeah, this last house has like platforms on it, so sometimes you can get stuck on there and you'll get hit a couple times. And I have lost runs in that stage before.
here we go. We're gonna take a sweet ride on this car. Oh my God, you think this is it? We get the trophy and 2-minute cutscene. So this wonderful cutscene coming up is actually unskippable. Although if you are a huge fan of this game and you love to play over and over in one sitting, once you beat the game, you can skip the cutscene, but that is not how it is today.
Yeah, so when we do these runs for Animaniacs, we always start from power on, and there isn't really like a new game plus category yet. But since this, not a lot of people actually run this game, it's like only myself, Rash, and there's like another person by the name of Lady Galaga who recently put up a time. But we are trying to get more runners for this game. So if you guys are interested in like strictly platformers, like no glitches, then this is the game for you.
It is a very fun speed run, and like we were saying earlier, it does give you, if you don't have, the ability to do save states, there's passwords, so you can use that. Plus you can skip to level 1 through 4, so it allows a lot of practice.
Yeah, I don't even know how I learned this run in the first place. I just kind of played the game, and then I was like, oh, I set a time. Let's see if I can improve it even further. So I think my very first run was like a 32-minute run, and now it's like, my current PB is like a 26:14. It used to be the former world record, but currently it was beaten by Rash, who has a 26:04 in this category. And he currently has like all 3 categories world records. So he has like easy, normal, and hard. But the differences with all the other difficulties is like you get hit. I guess you deal more damage. You get dealt more damage. I don't even know what to say, but yeah, you get dealt more damage, and then the bosses take more damage to defeat. So those are like the only main differences, and also like the lives difference are like, so like if you play on normal, you start with 3 lives. Play on hard, you start with 1, and you play easy, you start with 5. All right, now that the cutscene's over,
you will see yet again how we use all 3 characters in this game. Now, we haven't mentioned, but you do have to go in order from Yakko, Wacko to Dot in this. Regardless of what order you need, you have to switch them in that pattern. But in order to defeat this boss, you have to start with Dot. You have to give a little love to Pinky, who will then drop the bomb. Yakko will then push the bomb. Wacko will then hit it to ignite. So we want to do that several times for the first stage of this fight. Now, if luck is not on our side, unfortunately what happens is the boss there's a bar up there, he will grab that and start swinging across. We don't see that a ton, but it is no fun when it happens.
Oh, whoops. Oh gosh. This is fine.
We just continue that pattern over and over, regardless of where we are on the screen. Again, you can push and pull the bombs with Yakko. So you can see here, the boss then splits in half. We still want to continue to do damage to the top portion, which is where the bombs come from.
Yeah, also the kick will damage him too.
Luckily, after the second stage, we only have to do 4 hits.
Yeah, we're getting close to it. We want to keep the legs as close as possible, because the final hits will... Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the legs will actually be the final ending. The legs will go do 1 kick, and then it will be time after that happens.
Grab the last thing.
After we grab the artifacts, be ready to get your GGs out for Supersonic.
Time. All right.
Wait, it's over. That all happened so quickly.
Yep.
Gosh, I had actually forgotten about the Animaniacs show for a while. I didn't realize that they had made a game, and that was a really fun jog of the memory. So well done, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
I also noticed when you were mentioning runners for the game, Kelsey's name was not in there. Kelsey, did you study this speedrun for today?
So it was just, it's a completely random thing. So I've been friends with Supersonic for quite a while. I actually intended to do a casual playthrough of this game. And then I was randomly watching him one day and it was like, wait a minute, you own this? And it kind of
wait a minute.
hold, like, because there's only like, 4 or 5 runners in the entire world. So it was completely coincidental that we both happen to play it. I do know the speed run. Unfortunately, I don't have a time on the board, so no, we don't speak about me personally being a runner of it. I'm just quite an enthusiast of Supersonic's run, and it has been it's been a pleasure to commentate with him along on all of these super fun marathons.
Oh, for sure. Supersonic, you have any shout-outs or anything that you'd like to give?
Yeah, so obviously, huge thank you to Kelsey for commentating this run with me, even though we had some hiccups here and there with the tech setup, but it's all good. We made it through.
You can just blame me for it. It's fine.
Oh, no, I'm not blaming you for that. No, but also thank you, SmoothOperative, for being our host for this.
Thank
and
you.
then huge shout outs to the GDQ staff, especially for allowing me to showcase this game in particular, because I've been trying to get this game in for a long time. And I'm really glad I was able to showcase this for you guys. But this won't be the end of me. I will be coming back on Sunday with Super Mario Bros. Warpless. So
Oh, yeah.
that'll be something to look forward to. But until then, enjoy the rest of the marathon, and I'll catch you all then.
Well, actually, Supersonic, I don't want to put you on the spot, but we do have a little bit of extra time. I kind of wondered if maybe you had time for a few just questions that I had.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, grab some tea, stay a while. First of all, I just kind of wanted to know what got you into speedrunning and, how long have you been speedrunning?
So I've been speedrunning since May of 2016.
Okay.
The first event I went to was Calithon 2016 when it was at the esports arena in Santa Ana. At that time, I was only a spectator, like I wasn't really a runner. And a couple of my friends and we went there. Kiriru, who's going to be running in this event tomorrow. So we went to this event, and that pretty much got my spark into speedrunning. And believe it or not, my first speed game was Mega Man 2. But I wasn't too thrilled about it, so I just played it for like a week. And I switched over to Mario 3 for a while. I did the any percent no wrong work category. And yeah, that one was okay, even though I don't like the hand section in World 8. But then when I switched over to Mario 1, that's pretty much what put me on the map, especially when like people like Darby and Cosmic, Andrew G, like they found out about me running this game. And they kind of took me under their wing and just kind of showed me the ropes of like how to speedrun Mario 1 properly. And then that's where it pretty much like got me into the whole.
That's how it started, Calithon. Gosh, I've heard so much about Calithon, and I had never been to one. I didn't realize that speedrunning was such a big thing. I guess until maybe 2017.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I know you ran quite a few games now since the beginning, but do you have a favorite speed game that you run?
My favorite speed game is actually Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I did run that for Time Capsule.
You did. That was such a fun show. I have another show here on the Games Done Quick channel that we do every other Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, there's one coming up this Tuesday, and Supersonic was on one of the Time Capsule shows. It was really fun.
Yeah, so Sonic 3 and Knuckles is my favorite speedrun, even though it is like one of the hardest speedruns to learn because of so many glitches in the game, but they're so fun to do, and I had a lot of help from like Joey Baby, Zaxxon, Mike89, or he's called Sega Junkie now. There's like a lot of other like Sonic runners that I had a lot of help from like playing the game, and then I play like all the other Sonic games as well, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2. Which, by the way, I did do an IGN video for Sonic 2 before the Sonic movie came out.
Oh, wow. Did you?
Yeah, so myself and Ben Schwartz, who's the voice actor for Sonic, we did like this very interesting video of playing Sonic 2, and he was trying to like mess me up as much as he could. So yeah, that pretty much brought the spark into Sonic 2. Yeah.
How can we find that? I want to watch that.
It's on IGN, on their YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I think the video is called like Sonic Voice Actor Reacts to Sonic 2 Speedrun or something like that.
Okay,
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it. If you think of it, put the URL in the West Coast Weekend chat, and we'll get it into the Twitch chat, because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in watching that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll definitely get that on there. But yeah, aside from that, I pretty much run like those Genesis Sonic games. I also run Mario 1, obviously. Then we got Lost Levels, which is technically Mario 2 in Japan. There's also the Mario 2 in the US, which I call the vegetable one, but I'm not too good at that game, so I don't really run it that much.
The vegetable one.
Yeah, I call it the vegetable one because you pick the vegetables from the ground and you toss it at enemies. So yeah.
Gosh, that is kind of a theme in video games, picking up the vegetables and throwing them everywhere.
Yeah, I just pick a vegetable and throw it at somebody. There you go.
Gosh.
And then yeah, Mario 3. So I pretty much run the trilogy of like the classic Marios and classic Sonics, and obviously Animaniacs, which I pretty much picked up randomly and then just started running it a little more seriously after trying to go for the top time, and especially like trying to get the first 25 in this game because we're pretty close to it, like myself and Rash.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to get back on the grind pretty soon.
Would you consider yourself more of a pinky or a brain?
I would say pinky.
What about
Like,
you,
definitely
Kelsey?
pinky.
Oh, I'm sadly I'm gonna have to say brain. I have a little bit of sass. I'm gonna go with
A little
brain.
bit of a dark side.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that. Yeah.
See, but that's why the two of you work so well together. Pinky
Exactly.
and brain. Yes.
Perfect. The perfect duo for this game, for this run. Super happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm actually going to put both of you on the spot now, and I agree that both of you worked incredibly well today with, the speed running and the commentating. So would you, Supersonic and Kelsey, ever consider doing a co-op speed run of a game together?
Oh my God, we've talked about it. Absolutely.
You've talked about it. Okay.
I mean, I kind of am the one who put him on the spot. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in his live stream one day. I mean, I'm into it. I don't know about him. I'm not going to speak for you, Supersonic, but I think it would be insanely fun.
Yeah, we did talk about it, and I do want to do a co-op speedrun with her sometime. It depends on which game, though, but we'll find out pretty soon.
So you haven't thought of like any particular games, like nothing in mind, just thinking?
I would say this. I've never said anything, but maybe like a Mario game would be, on the table.
Which Mario
Probably
games?
Mario 3.
You can I guess you can co-op Mario 3.
Anything but SMB 2U. I'm not a 2U fan. I like 2J.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if the two of you do decide to do that, let me know, because I think that would be really fun, really fun to watch.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So as all of you know, this is West Coast weekend, and you all know the phrase West Coast, best coast. So I got to ask you both, what is your favorite thing about living on the West Coast?
Seattle? I'm biased. I'm in Washington State. I'm in Seattle. So I'm going to say coffee. I'm going to say coffee.
Coffee. Oh, yeah, there is good coffee here. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do live in California. I've practically been here my entire life. And I would say, going to the beach, like just kind of chilling at the beach, and then, going to Disneyland sometime. I went to Disneyland like a million times, but I haven't been there in a while.
Jealous.
Yeah, I don't know if I guess they reopened since COVID.
They have?
I think so.
I'm gonna have to look. I know for sure Disney World did for a brief bit, which is the Florida one, but Disneyland, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna go currently just because.
Oh, heck no.
We all know how things are right now in the world, but I can't wait to go back. I am a huge Disneyland fan, and I wish I was as close as Supersonic was, but hey, at least I got good coffee.
That's true.
That is absolutely true. No shade on the East Coast, but, West Coast is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I gotta say, thank you both again for being here. Everybody, if you enjoyed the run, please make sure you follow Supersonic here on Twitch. That's SuperSonic71087, as well as Kelsey, twitch.tv, KELS, 4 letter E's and a Y. It was a pleasure having you both here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And up next, we have East Chronicles, and we will be back in just a moment with that, so stick around.